Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20 plus years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to replace the AC compressor on this 2001 Ford Taurus with a bypass pulley. The AC system has long since not worked, and now the compressor clutch is making a lot of noise. This is the same process for basically any 92 to 06 V6 Taurus. Tools we used on this car are 8, 10, and 13 millimeter sockets and ratchets. You'll need an extension as well, a 15 millimeter wrench and a larger wrench, and a flat blade screwdriver. And these tools could differ a little bit if your year or model is different. So what's happened is this car's aged. The AC has quit working and the compressor has just been sitting there pretty much idle, and now the pulley or the clutch has started to go bad and make a lot of noise. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the AC compressor out and put in a bypass pulley. Here's our bypass pulley. Pretty simple device. All you do is you remove the AC compressor and then you bolt this into its place, and that way the belt route's all the same. You just don't have all that noise of a loud bad compressor or compressor clutch. We're going to disconnect the battery here using an 8 millimeter socket. The first thing we're going to do is loosen the serpentine belt. Okay, and you want a 15 millimeter wrench, and right down here is your belt tensioner. So put a 15 millimeter wrench right on the bolt for your belt tensioner. Then you can use a bar, or if you had a longer ratchet handle or something, you could use that. I just use an extra wrench for leverage. Push that clockwise, and then you can remove your belt off your idler pulley. Okay, and then slowly bring it back, hook the wrench, and now your belt is loose. Now your AC compressor on this vehicle is a little tough to see down here. It's this unit right here, okay, and you can see a bolt here, and then another bolt right there. Okay, so those are the two top bolts. There's also two bolts directly underneath those two, which I can't really show you, but they are, like I said, directly underneath. And then there's another bolt that you have to remove. Let's see, which is this bolt right here. Before you remove this bolt, you have to make sure that your system is evacuated. Now on this car, it had a leak for so long that there was no pressure in the system, but if your system has any pressure in it, you need to take it to an AC station and have them discharge it. They'll usually do it for 20 or 30 bucks. Just have them evacuate the system. Which holds the refrigerant lines on there. This bolt is a 10 millimeter. So get my socket and ratchet on there. You want to use a regular screwdriver. There's two tabs. I'll pull out on the tab and pull up on this fuse box. Okay, and that can kind of just go up and out of the way a little bit. And now you're going to remove your radiator fans. Okay, and that's pretty easy. See, there's an 8 millimeter bolt right here. You can see right down there is the plug for your radiator fan. All you want to do is pry out lightly here and pull that plug off, and then you want to pull these pins. You can see here's one of the pins out. Pull these pins out of the fan shroud. Lift this up out of the way, pull this fan up, and then it just comes out of the bottom, comes right out. On this fan, I've done the same thing. I already loosened this bolt. I've already unplugged it. So I'm just going to take that bolt off and then pull it out. And then I'm going to slide it over to where this other fan came from. Just going to get by all the wiring. Okay. Slide it up and out. Put those fans out of the way and some extra room to work in here. I can get to my AC compressor mounting bolts. I'm going to do the lower ones first. Put it up here. The compressor is just stuck to the engine. Okay. So the compressor just pretty much fell out. So I've kind of got these harnesses out of my way now. Compressor. Right by the exhaust manifold. Okay, so there's my compressor out. So here is the new bypass pulley. Each bolt you put in, you want to put a bushing on. Okay, so let me get this down in there first. Should be a little easier because it's not nearly as big as the compressor. And I've used the same method here. Okay, and it does install with just 3 bolts, not 4 like the compressor. So you can see down in there. Okay, I've got the bolt started. It's very hard to see really. Got the one bolt started there. Bolts with bushings. Got the bolts and bushing started. I'm going to use a 13mm with an extension. Tighten them up. I'm going to get them all 3 just kind of snug first. And I'll tighten them all the way. So looking down in, there's the bypass pulley installed. Okay, you can see I put this bolt in again, and then I used some plastic ties just to tie this to it to secure it so it doesn't go anywhere. And I also put the brackets, I put that bolt through the brackets and tightened it so that those brackets won't move around and none of these harnesses will move around and rub against anything. Make sure it's on everything down around that bypass pulley that we just put on. Make sure it's down around the crank correctly. Okay. And then it goes down underneath our idler pulley like that. And then I hold on to that right there. Put my 15mm wrench on. Down on. Okay. Pull on the tensioner, and then I put it up. Let's see here. Pull it up. Flip it onto the alternator. Make sure it's pretty well aligned on everything. Let the tension back. Take a look down and in. Looks like everything's pretty much on the way it should be. Slide this one over, and it has 2 feet that have basically a cross pattern on it. And if you look down in, you can see right there, that cross right there, that's where one of the feet goes. And then that cross right down there is where the other one goes. Okay, so you put the fans down in, and you kind of just work them back and forth a little bit. You find where they go down in, and then that 8mm bolt lines up, and then tighten up that bolt. Reconnect the electrical harnesses for the fan. Make sure everything's routed correctly. Put the fuse block back into place. Reconnect the battery, and you should be all set. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.